Well, the YouTube site here, and today we're gonna go over something that's old news, but I am definitely just flabbergasted about this Texas mom that's gonna degrade the Hocus Pocus movie, which I'm supposed to do a movie review on this, but I think I'm gonna do a movie review with how I think it should have been done, type thing. But yeah, I do not see anything into this film that this person, you take it as it is when you watch a movie. I mean, what are you gonna do? Start, getting rid of horror movies? When I was a kid, I was brought up on horror movies. And everybody in my house was watching horror movies. Even my older brother as a kid watched horror movies. And what I take into horror movies is that they might be fiction, but they all do give a detailed, indication of what is out there in this world. I mean, these movies ain't no different than the damn news you hear on the TV. And it's ridiculous. I mean, what is this woman gonna do? Stop her kids from watching the news? This is why kids get kidnapped, snatched up, raped, murdered, disappear, never seen again. And this is why kids are uneducated about the real world that is out there, especially, like I say, I have nothing against Catholic people that can go do their own beliefs. I respect them. But when you start cramming this down the people's throat, you know what? You're misleading, misguiding, right? And just because there's bad apples out there that look at movies and, even music, to being their scapegoat, to doing something horribly, and they're going to blame the music. They're going to blame the movies. You know what? No, that is someone that has not been thoroughly checked. That is someone that is, not had the proper teaching in life. And I know when I bring out movies like this when my kids were little, hate me, call me sick, demented, but it was meant for a purpose. Because I don't cover coat nothing in life. Life to me is always keep your eyes wide open, eyes in the back of your head, and you learn the ways of life of how it should be. Not cover coat to your kids or the things, perfect example. What does this woman do? Why don't she just go troll on the movie Trolls about how life is not all cupcakes and rainbows, right? Why don't she say something about that movie? You got these ogres or whatever they were called, the big, stinky looking, scary, things that want to eat or kill these trolls. Why ain't she trolling on that movie? That movie, was pretty intense. I watched it. I do like watching kids' movies, and you want to know why? For the perfect example for something that comes out like this. And then, I don't know why this woman ain't say so, trolling on movies that have, secret, say so, jokes for adults in the movies. I mean, even the first, movie Hocus Pocus, talking about we desire children, and the bus driver's over there spitting out his guns. They take me a few times, right? And now it's all about bringing evil into people's homes. I mean, you don't sit there and, oh my God, cram this crap down kids' heads. The only thing you should be saying is, yes, there was, speaking of history. There's a lot of people that don't know history these days. And if they do look into history, well, they're very good and really need to, but then again, it all depends what type of history you're looking into, because a lot of history has been altered, changed, fake, as we are always coming out as the fake news. Well, hey, supposedly the moon landing in 1968 was fake. And how many people there were friggin' all over that and excited? Look at us. We've grown to get to the moon in 1968 when they hadn't. The only thing back in 1968 was great movie effects. And you can't disclose on that boy back in them days, especially when the movie King Kong was made in 1938 or 36. So, you think about some of the greatness we had back then, but then again, all the stuff that is not there. But we still teach kids back in them days, and sometimes you hear about things to this day. Well, I don't hear much history from my kids. I don't know, they're not interested in what. But me, I'm a history enthusiast. I love history, and my father was the one who got me into history. And, what is true and real of history is what I'm very interested in, especially my King Philip War, a.k.a. King Philip, the Great Chief Metacom. All them Indian wars back in the day were all completely wrong. They did not do what the white man wrote in the book. It was all altered. It was all to make them look like the worst people on the planet back then. And, that wasn't the case. Even today, if someone come up to you and steals your stuff, takes your money, rips you off, do you think you're going to be kind to them people? And, let alone they're raping, sending your people off to slavery. You think you're going to be kind to them people, and they're killing them? And everything that was misled in history. But the Native Americans were savages. And all this brutal stuff brought and taught upon kids, and fiction movies that come out. Oh my God, it's going to unleash evil into people's homes, just like the article says. This woman is ludicrous. I think this woman has a few screws loose. The witch trials also could have been misled. Don't get me wrong, there probably were witches out there, and there still is witches out there at Salem. But they don't do all this dark magic and bring spells, but they do have a sacred glow inside of them to make them do what they need to do. Especially, look into the past or whatnot, or even if they're card readers into the future. They ain't all about black magic. That's a satanic cult. But, everything that witches did back then, if you were a homemaker, though, and you just look like a witch, and something just currently happens, right? Oh, yeah, witch, get thou, woman in hanger. And a lot of these women were just ordinary housewives, and that the reason why they look like witches, because, hey, women back in the day, boy, and I don't know what the hell why this woman is, all about unleashing evil. They cook, clean, right, laundry, get the kids out to where they need to go, get the kids into bed. And then, a guy was out there hunting or whatnot, or working or building something. But, the household wife back in them days were freaking extremely, tough. And, of course, it was unnoticed back then. Of course, all the civil rights movement for women to be equal came along, but, a lot of stuff back then. And sometimes they would held jobs, too, later on in life. So, that don't happen these days, boy. Just don't. Sometimes, there's just less than what used to be. But, anyways, this is just ludicrous, sick, demented. I don't care what anybody says. They can, stick up for this woman and she can sit there and I'm not going to start nothing and I don't care what people say. I don't care what she says. Because all this does is cover coat, the world and what's really out there. Then there ain't witches taking over, that's for sure. If you go to Salem and know these witches, and I've seen some, maybe talked to a couple, just passing by. But this woman is making witches look like they still exist to this day with their evilness. And oh no, her kids are gonna be, traumatized by this movie, and they'll, how can I say that they will, banish their religions just to go to witch culture, get out there and become a full-fledged witch. They're gonna go out there and dump on the Catholic religion. There's been people out there that are Catholic, gone to Catholic schools, and I've hung around with one of them. And this kid used to be in CCD classes. Came from a Catholic home, and he's in these damn places wearing King Diamond shirts. Anybody don't know who King Diamond is, press in the name and you'll be shocked. And he used to wear Slayer shirts. All these misled bands that everybody thinks, are Satanism, devil worshippers, but they're not. They're just as much as a witch to be here to tell the tales of the past, the present, and the future. Music is not made, even though there are some satanic bands that do, but as you can see, they're not on the charts. And the only way you can stumble upon them is if you type in only all bands that are really into Satanism. There's not that many. I have looked them up. I have read about them. But I can guarantee you and assure you that I don't have their albums. Because I don't believe in Satan. I can't say I don't believe, but I don't look at Satan as the same as anybody else out there. I think of him as a coward, a big friggin' pussy, and someone needs to really go and destroy his ass and his role in life that has been brought forth of us since the beginning of time with the Catholic ways. But, this kid used to wear these shirts, and I remember I went to one of them, I signed up to one of them CCD classes or CC, whatever the hell it was. But I was in there wearing my shirts too. And I think I had a Dio shirt at one time. And I literally had and after this class, I stopped going because of the simple fact that, and I got a Dio thing I want to go over too, an album cover from Last in Line. But Dio was not a devil worshiper either. Ronnie James Dio was another one who spoke of the evilness on the earth and told it very well in lyrics. That man from the band Elf in earlier career up until his band Dio, even with Black Sabbath, that man could sing. He was he had a powerful vocal cord, and the lyrics were unbelievably, brilliant. But I had this person telling me, oh, if you turn Dio upside down, and I'm looking at my shirt because I'm looking at it upside down. It did do it. It did come out, but I'm like, what the? Are you crazy? I sat there and told this teacher, you're nuts, man, because it did kind of resemble upside down evil. But, yeah, Dio's saying of evil, meaning the evil of the world. What's in the world, the things that don't talk to strangers. How about that? Now, if there's a devil-worshipping singer band, why would they be pronouncing Don't Talk to Strangers? Incredibly, intense song. One of my favorites. And, that's, even though being taught from schools, the parents don't talk to strangers, that song right there, man, got me to, thinking too. Because what he puts in for lyrics in that song is just remarkably incredible. So, and then he's got a song called Invisible. People that, get tormented or don't feel fit into the crowd. And invisible are people that just want to disappear because they don't fit in. It's just a song of people feeling lonely. I recommend listening to these songs and the lyrics. And I think it has something to do with way before its time of people coming out of transgender. He was just 18 and in between a lady and a man. So, there's a lot of stuff if you don't understand the meaning of the, just because you look at the cover of the book. Don't judge the book by the looks of its cover. And this is what this woman is doing to this movie. She must have watched it, but to this, I expected more out of this movie, and I definitely expected the whole cast to come back from the original, and I will be going over this in another video, but what this woman, what I got meaning out of this damn movie, and I kind of it's like Halloween ends. It's a type thing. It was good, but it wasn't fully the best like the original. And, I'm disappointed in the Halloween movie in the ending, and I will be doing a video of that. I want to go over of how I would have ended that movie as though this one. And I actually tried to sign up for this movie, mind you, but didn't get nothing. I would have loved to make a good role and appearance. But, unfortunately. But anyways, what I got out of this movie in the end, and, it clearly stands out that Winifred was selfish. She, so this is a cut split video. I had to pause for a moment. Had to be somewhere, so I had to shut off on the last video as I was speaking about the Sanders, her sister, eldest sister, and my meaning that I got from this ending. Is that right? Winifred Sanford was very selfish in life. Trying to keep young and, getting her sisters involved and blah, blah, blah. And the meanings in life are where she needs to be, and that was where she had to be rest in peace with her sisters. As they just, I can't say how the ending went for the ending of that movie, but, it all, made perfectly sense. Selfishness in the world, even back then and now, or even beyond the grave, is not worthy in this world. It should be very, it's pointless to be selfish. And for this woman to be selfish and tell tales about how this is gonna unleash evil in the homes of people because they're letting their small children watch this. No, how about take the lesson learned in life at the end of selfishness? That's all I'll say about that, about the movie. I mean, I still really like to go over how this should have went in my eyes of an ending. And hell, even if I could have got on that set to do this movie, I tried my damnedest to, I don't know. I signed up for it and everything, but never got on. Damn it. Just like I went to Boston casting in Boston, Mass. And it's a movie thing, and at the time they were taking people in for the Patriots Day movie with Mark Wahlberg. And I wanted to go in and try and get the spot as the cowboy hat guy. The guy with the hat, and he was in there in the crowd, helping, of course. And I don't even think they even put him in the movie. They probably didn't have nobody suitable enough to be, his character. But I even tried to get in that movie and it didn't work. Come to find out, you were supposed to pay money to get into that. And I still have to pay money because I get emails and everything from it. And they still look for roles and everything. But right, you got to sign up, you got to pay to get a role, even if you're good enough. But other than that, though, I mean, this movie teaches things in life. I mean, yeah, it teaches you of danger, stranger, and for this woman to fill her children's minds with cupcakes and rainbows, which I have to use that term now because of the fact that, somebody's having a hard time getting out of a parking spot. Grind that fender, plastic bumper. But anyways, oh Jesus. So all in all, man, this woman is, with all seriousness, is cover coating her children's lives with the dangers that do exist out there. And wouldn't it be ironic if this woman's children did get snatched up by a satanic cult and sacrificed because they don't know what it is? So, I mean, even though these Sanders sisters weren't that seductive and seductive and that evil, even though, yeah, they wanted to suck the lives out of kids. I mean, of course, the modern day world did not allow that because, of course, you got more things these days that could probably swamp out, any type of evil that want to try sadistically take over the world. But this is just ridiculous. This woman needs to keep her mouth and her thoughts to herself, especially from a movie that's a cult classic now, not meaning cult, of course, of just trying to get people swamped in to become a friggin' witch, but funniness, things we need to, make us laugh in life. Even though this movie was, I kept getting suspenseful with it, waiting for a good action part to come out, which I think would have been great if it went the way I think it should have went. But, and I do have to give my say on this, but all in all, it did give out a good meaning in life. And the one word is selfishness. And I mean, and just to put that all in perspective, this woman, like I said, she really needs to keep her comments to herself. And look, there's something simple as this blows up on the internet. And it's like, these people that hide behind the wall, these people that think that life is just one meaning only. And your children should not be exposed to this madness, sickness, demented, psychopath, witchery, evil is ridiculous. Because one day, lady, you better watch it. If your kids are not street smart, and if they're not aware of their surroundings, and they get sucked in by a priest, dressed up as a priest, giving them information that they need to come here, and then all of a sudden they're in a cult, all of a sudden they're in a satanic ritual, all of a sudden they're sacrificed for these people's giving the devil a soul. Yeah. Wouldn't that be ironic? So it just, people like this, really, this is what really disturbs me. It's not the movies, it's not these fictional movies, it's not the, what they put in them, because this, to me, is all educational. You need to use it as an educational piece, not, oh my God, I believe in Jesus Christ and they're unleashing the devil. They're gonna make my kid a devil worshiper. No. You need to put it in your brain. You need to make it useful, educational, and very well enough. It has to be synchronized to a matter that they understand, right? Not that this is, don't you watch this garbage, which it ain't garbage. This movie, educationally wise, with meaning, that's what makes it good. Other than that, I wish they would have done it another way. But the meaning at the end, yeah, it got me, this is why I like watching kids' movies. I mean, I do got the kids that want to watch this stuff, but I watch them too, just to see where we stand and where the world is at. And, why don't you just go bust on trolls, right? That's an evil person wanting to take trolls, eat them, or kill them. They want to destroy them. Why ain't she going off on that movie? That was just more sadistically terrifying than this one. I mean, come on. That movie ain't no different than this one. Trolls are trying to be killed, and they win a war over the hunter. And that's what it is. Just like they win the war of the witches. And this woman is just delusional, staying in her world. And there was one message I'd give to this woman is, I feel sorry for you if your kids, something happens to them, so whatever. Anyways, that's my take on this. Just, oh my God, leave it alone. Go do something else. If you're that hung up on not wanting evil to teach it, then just stay out of it altogether. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. Go somewhere else. Other than that, until the next video, be safe, take care. And I feel sorry for that woman. If you ain't got the street smarts and the ability to come around this world, boy, oh man. Oh, I feel sorry for your kids. Out.